You can go direct to the customer with these different bundles. While when streaming started, everything changed, right? I mean, when the consumer decided to do it themselves. I mean, Netflix, I know Hulu, but you got to compete with that. So this is a direct link into the consumer, right?
When you look at Discovery, TLC, Animal Planet, ID, OWN, you add Home and Garden and Food, and Cooking and Travel and Velocity. These are if you say what are the quality brands in America, we have most of them. And so as consumers are looking for ways to consume content without the 200 channel bundle, the fact that we have 20% of the viewership and most of the quality channels here in the US, and we're not that expensive. All of our channels together are less than the cost of one regional sports network.
Yeah.
And so it's a very good buy for the consumer. And today, if you have broadband, and broadband more and more is the way people are communicating in the US, it's a must-have. It's almost like electricity. The one vehicle that you can get if you don't have cable is Netflix. And so we do think some of the skinny, over-the-top bundles could be quite compelling for us. And by ourselves or with others, we can go direct to consumer. So I think it presents real opportunity for us. The other thing that we have that very few people know is we have short-form content. We built a business by acquiring Now This and Thrillist and The Dodo. But together we have over 5 billion views a month on Facebook. We're the largest provider with Now This of short-form news on Facebook. Ken, in the food category, is the leader in short-form with food with over 2 billion.
That really lends itself to short form.
Absolutely. As I said, it's appetizer size, it's bite size. And then, furthermore, if you want to slice and dice like the food category, let's say you're only interested in Italian cooking or French cooking or whatever. We find these subsets, these super subsets that we can super target. And then think of the advertising possibilities if you only want this segment of the audience. In our case, we've always said our viewers do what they view. And advertisers know that. It's an engaged audience. We move products. We ring the cash register. When you think about the future, nonfiction brands where you can control the cost, and that's one of the things that we both think a lot about, because scripted content seems to be getting more expensive all the time.
Yeah. Well, you got the Amazons of the world writing big checks.
Well, truly big checks, but ultimately, great quality content is not about how much you spend. It's great storytelling.
Yeah.
It's what you put on the screen, and then what are the derivatives? What else can you get from those long forms? And that's why we think both of our brands together, our companies together, have this huge opportunity, Maria, that others don't.
The CPMs that Ken is able to get, the economics against Home and Garden and Food. He has all the endemic advertisers. We have a little channel called Velocity. It's for car enthusiasts. 65% of the advertisers on Velocity only advertise on that channel because they want to reach people that love cars.
Right, that's great.
And what Ken has is that on steroids. The CPMs he gets for his channels are much higher than ours because advertisers want to reach people that are interested in homes. They want to reach people that are interested in food, and he aligns them. And that's something we can learn from him. Let
me ask you an industry question, because we know that we got Time Warner and AT&T on the horizon. They're looking for that deal to close perhaps, I don't know, this year. Are there more deals on the horizon? Are there holes that you see that you're going to continue creating more scale at Discovery? Or do you think that the Time Warner AT&T deal is a catalyst for even further deals in this business?
Well, I hope that Randall's deal was a catalyst for our deal. And I think bigger is more important, but not just for being bigger. The reason that we bought Scripps is we think we got a really pure, high-quality IP company where we can take that content, short form, long form, all over the world with affinity groups. Just to get bigger, we don't have any channels that are broad and general interest. We think the future is about people that are in love with your brands or your shows, and that's what you do better than anyone else can.
Well, I think if you've got a category, a home category, a food category, a travel category, and again, globally, what we've been able to find, Maria, that the people that are as obsessive about home here in the States are the same in countries around the world. And then that connection we can get to the advertising community, the connection that we can find. For example, HGTV has been the #1 cable network in the United States for upscale, highly educated women for 10 years running. That is gold for advertisers. Those are the decision makers.
Wow.
And that's just an exciting element of what we see in the future.
It sure is gold. Very powerful deal. Congratulations to you both.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Thank
Grant.
you so much for spending the time this morning.
Pleasure.
We appreciate it. David Zaslav, Ken Lowe, the new kings of cable. There you go. Thanks, gentlemen.